Angry guy here, and 70% of women will be single come 2030. MGTOW has won. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, please help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers on our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Now let's begin. 70% of women will be single come 2030. MGTOW has won. So the statistics are really here, but they're not revealing the entire picture. Let's go ahead and jump right into them. 45% of women are expected to be single and childless by 2030. I want you to notice the important terminology here. Expected to be single and childless. This is both single and childless. What this does not reveal is that the actual projection is much higher for women who will be single. When you factor in women who will be single but have the spawn of Chad and Tyrone, that number is actually much higher, and we're actually looking at around 70% of all women in Western society will be single come 2030. Recent data predicts that 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be single and childless by the time 2030 rolls around. The number of single women in the US is expected to rise 1.2% every year. So notice this is also only culminating women up to the age of 25. So it's not including women ages 18 through 24. These women obviously will also be single and childless as well. Okay. So this raises the numbers. Then women who are above the age of 44, yet again, many of these women will be single, although they won't be childless. As a result of that, the number of women who will actually be single will actually be around 70% or higher. So 70% or more of all women in the United States will be single come 2030. This is men walking away from Western society, relationships in Western society. You're going to have a lot of old women who don't have a man, and they have children they're trying to take care of, but those children are going to become wards of the state because men are walking away, going overseas, disconnecting from society. They're not taking care of little Pookie anymore, little Ray Ray, little Poncho anymore, okay? These men are not taking care of these children anymore. They're not going to be step-up dads anymore. They're done with that reality. They're done with Western society. They're only working as much as they have to so they can survive and thrive, but they're not sharing their wealth and resources with women, and their health is increasing. These men are sleeping a lot more. You have a lot of men for generations now who have not been sleeping properly, have not been eating well, have not been living well, have to beg a woman for a sandwich. They don't need that anymore. They're making their own damn sandwich. They're sleeping long hours. Many of them are, just chilling, and they have money in the bank, and that money is just growing. A lot of guys are just pumping as whatever disposable income they have into investments and stocks. Like these guys are just gambling their paychecks because they don't need them. Like this is the reality for feminism. Men don't need much to survive. You have these guys who are living in mobile homes, trailers, campers, vans. Some dudes are just literally camping out in the woods. They have cabins. They are living very, very cheap, very, very inexpensive. If they can stay at home, they're living in a basement. They're not paying rent or very little amounts of money. So as a result of that, and they're not buying takeout. So as a result of that, when these guys pull in $6,200 a month, $4,000 or even $3,000, their gaming PC is already paid for. This guy said, I have a $2,000 gaming PC. Whoop-de-doo. That's $2,000 gaming PC. Sounds expensive until you realize that's a one-time purchase. He has his gaming PC. A man can have he can have an expensive gaming PC. He can have an expensive laptop. He can have and most men don't even want all of that stuff. They're okay with a nice laptop and a video game and a controller, and that's really it. That's really how a lot of dudes are. A lot of dudes are more than happy with a good gaming laptop and a gaming controller. And because they're playing Steam, because they all their games are on Steam, and they won't pay full price for anything. It's the honest to goodness truth. They load up Steam, they play their games on Steam, dirt cheap. They're buying games dirt cheap off Steam, you know, and that's how they live their lives. And they're happy. They're very, very happy. And these guys have all of this money coming in, and they have nothing to do with it. They have literally nothing to do with this money because they're preparing their own meals and they're eating damn good. They're eating damn good. I constantly see comments from you guys talking about all the meat that you're seasoning up, the steaks and everything, and you talk about the rubs that y'all are making. My goodness, I always tell y'all, like, there's this notion that white people don't season food. That's incorrect. Okay, if you some of the top channels on YouTube, top cooking channels on YouTube are white guys. Let's just be very clear about that. And boy, oh boy, do they season that meat. They rub that meat in. I mean, they bring in the garlic, the herbs, the spices, the kernel. Yeah, guys, think about this very carefully. Where did we get KFC from? The Colonel. And if there's one thing the Colonel knew how to do, it was how to season chicken. Okay, I've said this. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. When it comes down to that stereotype that white people can't season food, that's a white woman thing. But getting back on point, reading this article, we're told by our culture that a woman who is unmarried and has no children is empowered and in charge of her own life. She has escaped the unnecessary burden of raising a family and being a slave to her husband. At least that's what our society has convinced us. Sadly, many women have adopted the modern feminist lifestyle and have chosen to sleep around, uh, del- you know, delete end their pregnancies if they unexpectedly get pregnant and swear off marriage. But these cultural trends are going to have a tremendous impact on the future of American society. Morgan Stanley, this is from Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley is one of the big banks in the US. Okay? So they're predicting that they're getting ready for this so they can make money off this. All right? So they're buying up stock, they're basically buying up holdings in box wine and in box wine and cat food. Like this is crazy. Morgan Stanley estimates that 45% of women in their prime working years, ages 25 to 44, will be single and childless by the time 2030 arrives. That does not account for the women 18 through 24 who will also be single and childless, and the women who are 45 through 60, who many of them will be single and childless, but those who have had children will also be single. So they'll basically be on their own raising children that they cannot provide for. So a lot of these women will now be on welfare. It's pretty crazy. It's a large projection and it's only increasing rapidly. In 2019, Morgan Stanley published an article outlining women's impact on the American economy. The number of prime working age women in the US has been increasingly steady, and most of them are single and completely focused on their career. These women will continue to have a greater representation in the workforce, helping boost wages. Economist Ellen Zettner explained, in the past, education or lower paying occupational choices largely drove the pay gap. Today, motherhood is by far the largest contributor to the wage gap, since women who become mothers often choose to stop working or work fewer hours. Guys, these modern day women think that they are better than men. They do not like us. They do not want us around. They just want our money. Just like you have to like warn boys, the girls don't like you. They just want your toys. So the reality is that women have been lulled into this. They have been fooled because men have never been able to have it all, but women have been told that they are smart and they are charismatic and that they have superpowers and strengths that men simply don't have and can never have, and they don't need a man. So and they can do bad all on their own. So, but the irony is that men who've tried to live this life have not been able to succeed doing it, but they're told that they are superior because they are women. So they're going to do this, and they don't realize that they've basically become wage servants for the rest of their lives. They are going to be trapped in a cycle of poverty for the rest of their lives because They're going to continuously try to play catch up. They can't work those long hours that men work. They can't go without sleep for the next 20, 30 years. They can't do this for another 10 years. They can't live this life. And men are leaving these fields. Men are dropping out of these fields rapidly. So if women can't step up, for example, in medicine, if women can't step up, they're just going to be replaced by AI. They're gonna, they're going to be replaced by AI, and they're going to find themselves being, saying, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. A lot of these women don't realize that these jobs are not going to be waiting for them if they cannot keep up with the jobs. They think that, oh, we'll do whatever we want. No, you're going to basically be replaced. And the cost of male labor is only skyrocketing. Like, guys, back when I was, 10 years ago, 10, 50, 15 years ago, a mechanic a mechanic often made somewhere between $20, $30 an hour. Now these guys are making $40 to $60 an hour. I want you to think about that. I warned you that the cost of male labor was going to skyrocket. Blue collar jobs are not going to be replaced by AI that easily. Okay? Because you're going to look at the cost to get these machines that can do these repairs. Guys, think about this carefully. There are a bunch of different kinds of cars on the road, bunch of different kinds of cars, and it's not going to be cheap. The notion that AI is going to be able to handle fixing every different kind of car that exists, electric cars and gasoline cars and cars from the 60s. Guys, this is insane thinking. Guys, maybe in the next 50 years or 100 years, oh, the AIs are going to fix all the houses and do all the electrical wiring in the houses. Guys, what kind of stupidity am I hearing from some of y'all in the comments, in the chat? Like, oh, AI is going to do the jobs, all of these jobs, like, electrical wiring, putting sheetrock. Guys, do you know how much money it costs to build specialized robots that do these things? And once the property is already built, people have to come in and AI is gonna bore. Oh, we're gonna have robots that can do this. The robots are going to be like human beings, and they're gonna walk around, and they're gonna be conscious and sentient, and they're going to do. Are you guys crazy? Are you crazy? I don't know what kind of lunacy, guys. I respect Elon Musk. I respect the heck out of Elon Musk, but he's talking absolute lunacy, and some of y'all are sounding like lunatics, thinking that these blue collar jobs are going to just be replaced by machines. Like, you really think that we're going to have Cylons walking around in the next 10 to 20 years that are just going to walk around society looking like human beings and doing doing our jobs? What kind of nonsense is this? Like, what kind of fanatical thinking is this? Will robotics and AI create a larger shift in society? Absolutely, but it won't be AI and computer. It won't be AI and robots replacing human beings. It'll be people using AI and robots that'll replace human beings. Okay, construction work. Machines are only going to be used to facilitate to help facilitate the workers and work alongside them, speed up the process and optimize the process. It's not going to replace them anytime soon. The jobs that are going to be replaced are the jobs that women are predominantly doing. Guys, I don't know. Some of y'all are just out of your minds. You already have tech that guides people to doing plumbing work on their own. Guys, a plumber does more than fixes a toilet. You need a variety of different skill sets to do a lot of these things. You're gonna go, and maybe the average guy is willing to do some of these things, but a lot of men are willing to go and get their hands covered in poop. They're gonna call a plumber, and that's if all it comes down to is removing a pipe. Okay, some of these jobs require removing removing walls. I just don't know. Taking off the entire toilet. I can do it myself. Like, guys, what kind of stupidity are y'all talking about? You don't have. Do you understand the tools that you need to do a lot of these jobs? Oh, I can do it. You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what nonsense you're talking about. Help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications. Never miss another video ever again. 70% of women will be single come 2030. MGTOW has won. What do you guys think about this? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA and walking away. And cheers.